Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to address two quick things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my issue here that I had with my rivet that I'd pulled that was not good. So I never got a hold of Sonex. I did email them, I didn't hear back from them, and so I kind of went off on my own and tried to do a few things. The first thing that I did was to purchase some 5/32 rivets. I had posted this out on the Sonex build group on Facebook, and I got a couple of interesting replies. One person had mentioned purchasing some what they call Cherry Max rivets. They're a little bit different from the standard stainless steel rivets. This one has a stainless steel mandrel, and has I don't know what you call these, double beads here on the end. They're supposed to be really super strong. I actually did put one in, and I realized that the rivet itself is actually aluminum, and I didn't feel comfortable using an aluminum rivet where a stainless steel rivet should have been. And so another person on that same group had mentioned that he'd purchased some 5/32 stainless steel ones, basically the exact same rivets as the Cherry ones that come with the kit. These are stainless steel rivets with a stainless steel mandrel. I went ahead and put that into place. However, I noticed that in all my trying to get these rivets out, I did some damage to the skin that I was not happy with, and I knew that it was going to bother me for the lifetime of the airplane. And as I was looking at it closer, I also noticed that right up inside of this rib right here, from me drilling and then pulling and drilling, it actually created a stress crack right up here in this top corner. Just a tiny one. I filed it down to kind of look at it, but I'm not happy with it. So I went ahead and purchased all the materials to just rebuild this part. I'm a little bit frustrated with Sonex about it. Their website, when you purchase parts, they give you the price for the parts, and then it has a checkbox that you can select to either require them to tell you if shipping is more than $100 or not. And so I said, well, this can't possibly mean more than $100 in shipping, so I'll just leave that unchecked. The parts came out to be $142, I think, just for the two ribs that I needed to replace and the skin. But the whole bill overall ended up being $240, which was kind of, I mean, come on, $100 to ship something that probably weighs, I don't know, maybe all of 4 pounds, something like that. I realize it's kind of an odd shape, and maybe they have to put some packaging in there, but $100 is ridiculous to me. I mean, I would have paid $250 to buy the part anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that, but it was kind of like, well, come on, post the correct price on your website. The second thing I want to talk about today is I had a video that I posted earlier where I was working on the vertical stabilizer. I don't know if you'll remember this video or not, but I drilled one of these rivets down here as I was putting in the piano hinge. And as I went into this rivet right here, the drill had gone down and hit the back side of this bolt where there was a nut. That nut is now in this location. These 4 bolts and nuts are just temporary. They're only in there just for the time being to hold these parts together. And then they'll be removed and others will be put in place, I assume. The thing I want to point out here, there's a guy named John Jensen who had mentioned, you know, you should never use these lock nuts more than once, because as soon as you tighten them down, it damages the nylon inside the nut. And he's absolutely 100% correct. You should never ever use these nylon nuts more than one time. The idea of the nylon here is to add friction between the bolt and the nut. Friction is what keeps this from backing out. So once you've tightened these all the way in, it's kind of cuts its shape into the nylon nut. And then as you pull them out and put it back in more than one time, that nylon begins to wear out, and it no longer does what it's meant to do. It no longer creates as much friction as it should. So I agree with John 100%. Never use these nuts twice. In this case, if you look really closely here, the bolt never actually protrudes. It gets to the point where it almost touches. It may even touch just barely the nylon, but it doesn't actually cut any threads into it. It's just touching right here. So I'm okay with that as long as I didn't screw it down. Like these ones down here, I would never reuse this one, for example, because it's already gone through a set of threads once. And if I were to back that out, it would just do nothing but remove the material or squish the material of the nylon and make it no longer a locking nut. Again, this one, if you look at it really close, if I can get this zoomed in, the bolt itself actually doesn't cut threads into the nylon. It just barely touches it. And I did back this out just to verify it doesn't do that. The only one that does happen to is this one that I'd had damaged that needs to be replaced anyway. I just put it in place because it's temporary anyway. And if you can look, I'm not even sure if I can get this focused on there well enough, but if you look at the nylon from the side here, it does actually have some threads cut into it, and that's because this bolt on the back side actually did go through. That's where this nut and bolt came from, was this location that I damaged. So I have more in the box. When it comes time to replace these, if I do need to replace these, this bolt will be replaced with a brand new bolt and nut. Again, that's just temporary for now. Anyway, so that's kind of where I am with the project right now. I'm just kind of waiting on the parts to come to do my elevator one more time. I felt pretty good about everything on that elevator apart from that one rivet, so it's unfortunate that one 30-cent part could destroy a $250 part on your airplane, but it kind of is what it is, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so that's it. I'll see you next time.